Good evening, campers. I've got another Black Ops 2 gameplay commentary for you today. I'm playing on Standoff. As you can see, I'm be using the LSAT with the target finder. I start out in a nice open field spot here. It requires you to kind of scan backwards and forwards, and does make it high risk, but the target finder obviously makes it easier because it points out the people, particularly at long range, who can kind of end up sniping you. And you can see here I die at the start after I get my first Guardian, and then I switch spots. But even if you don't go into like full camping mode on this map, you can see that I've got a spot here, and then there's a spot almost exactly like it on the opposite side of the map. That's really good for camping. You can maintain a really high KD. Obviously, if someone's got it in to kill you, then you will die eventually because they can end up sniping. There's just so many spots you can come in from. But as I said, if you keep switching spots, they'll never really know where you're coming from, so just choose your spot based on where you spawn. You can see here, this guy here doesn't actually notice that I'm sitting behind my shield, which is a bit retarded, to be honest, because if the shield's up, it means that the person's still alive. Anyway, I'll do switch spots in a while. You can see I've got my my Guardian up. I think I die at this particular point because someone tries and kind of long range snipes me. But yeah, you can maintain quite a high KD. You can see that I'm still using the UAV though, because I'm expecting to die a bit more on this map. On maps where I don't expect to die so much, I use a kill streak that kind of helps me a bit more with my kills, such as the stealth chopper is probably the best option, to be honest. I like to mess around with the AGR every now and then. It's a bit more fun than the stealth chopper because you can control it. You can use it to help control your camping spot, particularly on Yemen, so you can just like park it outside. Anyway, you can see here that I've kind of got a bit of more of a dynamic gameplay going on. I'm switching spots, and you'll see as the game goes on, I switch spots based on where my kill streaks are covering. So like once I've got my sentry gun where I'm standing now, I don't really need to be standing here myself, so I'll go switch to another spot where I can get kills on top of it. It would probably be safe to stay with my sentry gun, but there's just no point. And also I want to talk a little bit about another trick you can see I'm using here. It's a bit hard to see, but what I'm doing is I'm standing behind my shield and I'm leaning to the side, and that kind of reduces the amount of area that they can hit you with, because basically you need to stand slightly skewed to the side of the shield, and then you just lean in towards the middle. Obviously which way you lean will depend on which way they're coming from, but it's really important to do this when the enemy's got like a long range option of sniping you, because it just makes it that much harder. And the other thing is that it changes like your silhouette a little bit, which is getting a bit advanced, but it does mean that kind of you've got less chance of seeing spotted because you don't have that very typical silhouette. Anyway, so you can see here I'm using the sentry gun to cover the other entrance, and now move spots to somewhere where I can I'm covered on the short range with my Guardian, and I can kill people long range with my LSAT with the target system. Anyway, you can see as the game goes on a bit here, I use map control, and I actually end up locking down a big part of the map. But how you do this really depends on you really have to know the spawns to be able to do this. It's no use locking down an area and then having an area where a guy's just going to spawn in the middle of it and ruin it all for you. Particularly if you're relying on high kill streaks, such as a chopper gunner. It's really not good to be dying, because they do help with your final kill count. So yeah, just learn the spawns. Obviously you can learn pretty quickly if you've got an area on control where there's a spawn in the middle, because you end up dying a lot. There's a particular problem on hijacked. It seems like a lot of the spots there, they end up spawning in the middle. So you can see I try and find a good spot for this sentry gun to cover, and then I end up moving again. So yeah, I end up going 30-1 in this gameplay. I probably would have been better off with a chopper gunner, even though I do end up dying, but I don't know. Usually I don't really plan out what I'm going to do during a gameplay. I just I go with it, I experiment a little bit, because I never really wanted to be doing the exact same thing. I enjoy the challenge of finding new camping spots, and you can see that I've I've got the whole house on control here. I've got the other area coming in under control. No one's going to be coming up behind me, so I can pretty much safely camp here, and I've got the huge advantage over people long range because the LSAT doesn't have a lot of recoil, so it really kind of stands out at long range, and also the targeting system helps me to see people early. Obviously, people here are using like they must be using Ghost or it's Cold-Blooded, I think it is, that stops my targeting system from seeing them. But yeah, I don't know. I think dual ban might have been a bit more useful on this map. Anyway, that's the end of this gameplay. I end up going 30-1. As you can see, someone almost beat me because I had a few slow points where basically they were running around and killing other people, and I just was stuck in my spot. But still ended up winning, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.